They say the Cape Fear River was full of blood.
Oh, I'm pressing on. What? So the sound went out? Yo, check this out, I ain't in the lab, I'm not in the lab tonight, I'm not in the lab, but I told y'all, it's a straight up takeover, it's a takeover, it's an equal takeover, it's a takeover. Yo, I ain't in the lab, I'm in Statesboro, bam! Jamal in Statesboro, because guess what, the takeover is from the Black Book Club here at Georgia Southern University, Statesboro campus, bam! Guess what, for 57 minutes, they're gonna handle everything, y'all gonna hear them, what they thought, their perspectives about how they handle stuff, up here at the Black Book Club. So, yo, guess what? It's a takeover. Y'all know I like takeovers because that's what Jamal do. Bam, been y'all. We're going to turn over to the Black Book Club.
Let's say, hey, mom. Okay. So, how's everybody doing today? Let me share the screen. Good. Sure.
Y'all sound like I'm
I'm about to say, y'all don't sound that good. What you stressing about? Yeah, it's the only way. Introductions. That's me, your boy Justin Hamlet, the president of the book club.
I'm the VP.
And other people.
A couple people missing today, but Carrie's on the way, our secretary, and Kalia not here. But you can see her next slide. That's Carrie. Next slide.
That's
Y'all gotta talk loud, just but y'all know y'all can't be cool, y'all can't be chill. That's Kalia. People can hear you.
I bet that's Kalia right there. I bet. So we always like to start every meeting off with an icebreaker. So today's icebreaker for the day is, what's one thing on your bucket list? We're starting back. You gonna do it? You too cool?
One of the things on my bucket list is to go ahead and have peace in the world. That's one thing, have peace in the world. That's why I like to see. Yeah.
I like that answer. All right, you just go. Okay.
See the pyramid?
Would you rather see? Do you want to see the pyramids in Mexico too, like across South America, Central America? I actually seen the ones though in Mexico. It was a nice sight. Real life. Coming in the back, what's one thing on your bucket list? That's real. I bet. Second row.
Me, to fix the education system.
Okay.
You said defeat it?
To fix it.
Oh, fix it.
But more than likely, I'm gonna have to turn the whole thing down if I have enough time.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you got to build before you can destroy.
It's education.
I mean, destroy before you can build. Basically, no, to the right.
I'm trying to hit all 7 continents.
Even Antarctica? Okay. I don't even think it's for humans, though. So, like, which one would you want to go to first, though?
I've been north.
Speak up a little bit.
You said what?
Can you speak up a little bit?
Oh, I've been to South America and North America. So next, I'm trying to hit Asia.
Asia.
Where in Asia?
You said what Asia?
Where?
Oh, where?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere as long as you.
Yeah, somewhere.
You want to go to Tokyo? Well, I'm saying, like what city, what country, what?
Like, I want to spend at least a month on the coast.
Oh, so to go.
Multiple cities, multiple places.
Okay, so you want to go across the whole continent type? Okay, I feel that. To the right?
I want to cross country travel.
Yeah, you saying like in an RV?
Yeah, like I would say from Georgia to California and back.
Yeah, that's actually fine. Like, now I actually looked at the I looked on the map app. It's like a day and 7 hours. So I've been thinking the same thing, low key, but I don't know. I don't know if I actually do it though. Right?
Mine is skydiving.
What's stopping you? Why are you doing it?
Nah, you have to get it in soon. Just other stuff, just had to get out of the way.
You're not scared?
Nah, I ain't good. Oh, not yet. I ain't going playing.
I was gonna say skydiving too.
But it's like I know it's a bunch of skydiving places around Atlanta. Like I know a couple of people who doing skydiving. So like that's really attainable. Talking about bucket list. That's like really attainable. You gotta hit it for real.
I want my doctorate.
And what?
I don't know, either psychology or a JD.
You said psychology or what?
In psychology or a JD.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna do that like all at once? Or you gonna go back to school?
No, I'm saying either or. Like I haven't chosen yet which one I'm doing.
But I'm saying your doctorate, so like you're gonna stay in school.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in school.
Okay. Well, you know, commitment.
What you want to do? Like once you get the doctorate though?
If I get a JD, I'll get I want to do contract law, and if I get my PsyD, I want to do like inpatient clinical therapy for like juveniles.
Okay. But say though, bro, I'm not gonna lie. What does JD mean? I don't know none of that
A
meant.
juris doctor, like a lawyer.
You said juris doctor?
Yeah, JD means juris doctor.
Okay. And you said CD? What's the one you said?
A PsyD.
PsyD? What's that?
Doctor of psychology.
Oh, duh. Okay. I have it. First row.
I want to go paragliding. And then,
That's what I'm doing here.
yeah, it's like a little wingsuit. Yeah,
Oh, is that the one where you like flying?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
wanna do
god.
that.
That's so
I want to do that, or I want to start up my own cannabis company with a lot of black people profiting off of that.
Cannabis?
Like, yeah, cannabis. With paragliding, you gotta jump out of plane. Yeah, I mean, or you can jump out. You gotta, they got parachutes in it, but you supposed to like catch. Yeah, dude, when you're like, look, burn out on the bar. This shit's getting hard, boy. What? You know, damn gangster. Too scared.
All right, so where's
Too big.
where's the mic? Hey, Seto. All right, so as y'all may not see, we are actually live on the podcast, ATR Media. You feel me? Run and tell that. So, like, with it being live, they kind of say they kind of can't hear us. Cause like, if I could I kind of move in the first 2 rows? You feel me? So the sound get picked up from everybody. You feel me?
You can just talk loud.
Yeah, or maybe everybody just yell.
Just speak up.
Just speak up. Y'all don't have to if y'all want to.
Yeah, but just speak up. You feel me? Do what y'all can do. All One thing.
On my bucket list, I want to travel by myself. As a woman, it's kind of hard to do that safely, so it's just like I'm gonna do it though.
Where you wanna go?
I want to go to Bali. I want to go everywhere. I want to live everywhere in the world. But like, I want to live in Bali at some point. Yes.
Why by yourself?
Because I feel, first of all, playing stuff with people is annoying, and like if I just play by myself, I can get it done, get it paid, get out the way, and go. And it's like I have no problem being by myself. So, and I feel like that's such a great experience, like peaceful experience, just by yourself. Yeah, right.
I was in Pop Louder.
Huh?
I was in Pop Louder.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but yes, I want to travel by myself.
Okay.
One thing on your bucket list.
I wanna try sushi.
You can do that shit literally right now. She can do that right now.
I'm allergic to seafood.
Okay.
So, but I really wanna experience seafood.
Like what happened? Like you gonna die?
Yeah.
It's good. You gonna die?
I don't, maybe it's like a good amount probably.
A good amount, so you can eat you a piece of sushi.
Yeah, but I'm gonna eat that.
You ain't came. Just wanted
That little thing, at the end, you have to go to the hospital. I mean, it's on your bucket list. It is on my bucket list.
Okay.
You ain't let me be, like, I didn't know it was my turn.
All right.
One thing on your bucket list. Yes.
I ain't know nothing.
That's the icebreaker for today. Have you ever thought of
I guess travel, yeah. I ain't never been nowhere.
What do you wanna go first?
Cali. Never been to Cali.
Okay.
Cali.
That's
I
very
think
nice.
Tokyo went to it.
Everybody's looking.
Tokyo.
What's your answer now?
Well, I wanted to go to England. I want to go watch the soccer game.
You want to do what?
I want to go watch the soccer game.
In England?
Which team?
What's your team?
Manchester United.
Yeah.
I know them tickets gonna be too expensive.
I bet. And then for me, one thing on my bucket list, I want to travel. Like I want to travel across Africa. I want to go to Australia. Like, I want to go to like the other continents too. But I want to go to Africa first though.
Why Africa?
I mean, it's where I'm from. Like it's where my people from. So, but nah, it's like a real nice. It's a real nice continent. I just want to see it. You know?
What part of Africa are you from?
That's a whole nother convo.
Right. You don't know.
Like what? I wasn't that real. But with further ado, we're going to go to the topic for today. Today we'll be talking about respectability, politics, and professionalism. So what is respectability politics, you might ask? Basically, you read on here, but it's like, I'm gonna put it in my own words, but it's the idea that people of an oppressed group, if they was to behave a certain way or look a certain way, then they wouldn't face that oppression. You feel me? Like an example would be, like I done heard people say, maybe if he went sagging his pants, then he wouldn't get beat up in regard to like a cop beating up a young black teen. You feel me? Or maybe if his hair wasn't looking that way, then he wouldn't have got arrested or stuff like that. So really, it's really just when you blame. I feel as if it's a form of victim blaming. Because you're saying if they was to act this way, look this way, then they wouldn't receive this punishment, this feelings from society. Yeah. Professionalism. So professionalism itself is supposed to be, it's emphasis on it's supposed to be like how you act and work, like your ladies, how you respond to your clients, how you talk to your colleagues and all that. But how we're going to talk about professionalism, we're going to talk about how like a lot of professional codes of conduct at different jobs and stuff like that, schools, how it's actually been used against black people in the forms. And that comes from like grooming things. I mean, I come from grooming rules. I know a lot of companies, you can't have beards, you can't have dreads, you can't have braids. Like it's just all kind of looked at unprofessional. We have an article, we'll skip that. I'm gonna go to some examples. just some kind of like some fast facts about professionalism, like times they've been racist. So I feel like when you hear that, you may not think that like on your first thought, if you know what I'm saying. But, so in 2020, I don't know if y'all heard about this. This went pretty viral, but it was a kid in Texas named DeAndre Arnold. He was placed on ISS and was told he wouldn't be able to graduate from his high school unless he cut his locks. And then it ended up being like a real big thing. Like 'cause like it really sparked a lot of outrage. They ended with I believe the Texas Supreme Court said that it was like discriminatory. It was discriminatory practice. But I don't know if he was actually able to walk at graduation with his class. But yeah. And then you got in 2020, this happened last year too. It was this girl, she got kicked out of school in Jamaica because they basically they told her she had to cut her hair, she had to cut her dreads. Think about this in Jamaica. So like this is really such a big thing because people were saying, cause like they know how big the Rastafarian culture is and how much that really means in there. So that's another example. Do y'all have any examples y'all know of?
Like real life.
Yeah, real life. I'm just saying things I heard of.
Yeah, I have an example.
Yeah, what happened to you?
Well, my mom teacher, so like going into the field, she told me like that my hair it had to go, cause like as a teacher, they want black teachers to be everything to the black kids, but they don't want us to actually look like the black kids that we teach.
Mm-hmm.
They want us to be what they want them to be, which is long haircut, wearing suits all the time. That's not my style. She was telling me I'd have to censor a lot about myself if I really wanted to like stick, because people in education are really like discriminatory. And how you look is actually their first impression, like really, and it's really hard to shake that notion once it's there. So she told me to cut my locks because in the field, like they don't like that type of thing. And that's something I saw at school too.
So how did that make you feel?
I mean, at the time, I had just got my locks. And like as the time went on, like it made me feel some type of way. But it's not like I never knew racism was there because I've been experiencing it my whole life. You get what I mean? So I know that having dreads is bad because even me as a black person, when I was young, like seeing a person with dreads and saying, I used to be like, oh, I'm scared because like that's what I was taught. Like we taught that those were the dangerous, when in reality, we all of them are humans. You know what I'm saying? I just forgot to look at them as like humans. And once I realized that I was that person now, and not that little kid no more. Now it's the person that I used to judge. It made me feel some type of way. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a real good thought. Like, I never even thought of that. Cause you said like when you was a kid, you used to see someone with with dreads or with their pants taken low, whatever, and then you would feel like you feel scared.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's crazy how like that form of like it's kind of I feel like would that be self hate in a way? Yeah, yeah, definitely be self hate. Cause like that really just like you really internalize racist stereotypes about other people. So yeah, I mean about yourself. Cause like, anybody else got something they want to say?
So, like, I got this thing right. So I like tattoos. I get tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to be a real estate. Is that I've worked more for a lot of different types of people, like all races. And a lot of people don't approve, tattoos witness people. And like type of tattoos I get, it might not always be like the norm. It might be an extra.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the thing where I don't get tattoos like my forearm or down. Like if I can't wear a short sleeve shirt, and you can see it when I got a shirt on, like a pants on, I probably I wouldn't make that.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't like it. Like I understand because like we're in that age where people, you shouldn't be judged if you got tattoos.
Okay, you're saying a lot of people don't like what? The judgment or?
Yeah, no, they don't like there's like, well, we're at the point where you should be able to get tattooed anywhere nobody should care, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, with the people, like, real society, if I want to make money, I'm going to have to be accessible to everybody. Or it's just what I want to do. I don't change it. So I don't make them. So I still don't get them. Wear them arms. I got like 4.
But do you think like that because you were taught like that? Or because,
A
like,
little
is
bit.
that how you were raised?
Oh, so a little bit. I got family who covered in tattoos, right? But it's It's just how I guess my mom told me that she don't like that too, though.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, you can't see them for certain people. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, going back to what he was talking about earlier, like with the hair thing, my mom was told me the same thing like recently, before the summer started, she looked at me and said, "You gotta cut all that off, or you're not getting no job." And I was like, "If they're not gonna hire me because of my hair, it's not a job for me." I said, "Oh God, no, I'm not cutting my hair off." I ain't never believed that. I feel like that's like, I low key like always thought like it was some racist connotation behind it. But why can white people wear their hair out or whatever, and why black people can't? Why we gotta cut our hair off and get low cut? I'm not dissing nobody that got low cuts. You know, that's for you, that's for you. But I personally, I don't like that. I don't want to have a low haircut if I don't want one. I feel like I shouldn't be forced to get a job. I feel like I shouldn't have to cut off my hair to get a job or cut off my beard or nothing. Like, it don't make no sense. I can understand if it's like, you can't, like, yeah, you gotta, get a line up and shit, like, all of that. But I feel like if it's well kept, it's grown, I feel like it shouldn't be no problem for real. They made it seem like it's a big problem for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. I got you work on that. I know, like my mom, she told me she was like, I mean, it's cool right now, like you growing out your hair right now and all, but like once you get a job, we're gonna have to talk about it. I was like, talk about it. Ain't nothing to talk about. Like I'm gonna come here when I want to cut my hair. You feel me? So I feel like maybe something that kind of comes from like maybe the older generation, that generations past us. But however, I do feel like with us now, I feel like we do have different ideas on all that regarding your hair. You feel me? I feel like we're more hair positive now. You got something you want to say? Oh, my bad. I'm tripping.
I feel like we gonna be the generation break all this shit. I ain't gonna count my God. Every day he tell me I was like a criminal because I got dreads. So it's like him saying that jump gonna make me keep him more just to prove a point. Because my hair don't define me and what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's real. Front.
I'm just gonna throw this out here, and I'm gonna probably debunk some mythologies also. When you talk about that as self-hatred, that is a type of self-hatred. What black people often go and internalize the hatred on themselves and pass it on because they're fearful. And I'll just give you an example. There's someone, the Thurgood Marshall Foundation, give African Americans at HBCUs internship. What told folks in the School of Business, and this was at Savannah State, not here, Georgia Southern, Savannah State. They told one brother that he didn't cut his locks. The brother came to me and asked me about that. I was like, yo, if that's who you are, that's what you want, you don't cut your locks. Had the criteria, he had grade point average, all of that. And he refused to do that. And so the folks in the School of Business said, well, we cannot send you to the program. You can't be a part of it. Guess what? He stuck to that. And guess what? The city of Tucson came along and gave him an internship that paid full tuition and also a stipend of about $5,000. Wasn't even concerned about his locks. But see what happens, when we buy into the mythology, because again, when you limit yourself, now I'm just share something with you, what's going on. Some people, they may not tell you this at Georgia Southern, may not tell you at some other places. Guess what some companies are doing right now? If you got tattoos, guess what some are looking at that, they're attracted to that. You know why? Because they're looking at certain markets. They know that again, that certain generations of people, certain people in general, they got tattoos. They might say, oh, wait a minute. That person's gonna be good for us to sell our product or to market our product. See, that's what I'm saying. So when you get caught up into some other narrative, and guess what? The same thing was said about you saying in generation. No, what it is miseducation that goes on down the line. Miseducation that goes down the line because they said the same thing about afros. So in the 60s and 70s, said the same thing about afros. They said the same thing about Jerry curls. But guess what? It just evolves. And so what we do, we internalize all the hatred, and we go year by year, decade by decade. So when you believe in yourself, and again, I'm gonna say this, and when you're good, some people ain't even sweating that. The people who sweat that might not be the people you need to be with anyway, but it's somebody else who wants that to happen. So I'm just throwing it out there. So now for y'all not to be discouraged by any of that, you go forward. And how your parents think, again, throw that out and say the same thing about afros and all that stuff too.
Yeah, like, I'm glad you said that though, because I do feel like as like we really can, like us internalizing, that really was, cause I did think like, damn, like, am I really actually going to cut my hair? But now I'm just like, nah, like, cause if I would have to do that to get a job at a company, like for them to hire me, that probably somewhere I shouldn't work at to begin with. So like, they probably wouldn't like me for real, cause like, I mean, that's me, like that's you. So I feel like you really shouldn't. I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't have to do any of that to get a job or even change yourself like that to that capacity. Definitely. If someone
And I feel like making that type of decision where you say, I'm not gonna cut my hair, is like the amount of risk you take. Like, I feel like that's only for someone with that type of GPA that do that advantage they have. Because like you aren't at the top of your game and you won't perform, like ain't no other opportunities. You know what I mean? You gotta have the right qualifications to be able to take that type of stand and get rewarded for it. That's my opinion. Like, 'cause there's probably tons of stories where someone did that same exact thing and they ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now they're paying their loans and they ain't got a job in their field because we don't want to hire them because they want to cut their hair. And I mean, I know it's morals and you don't want to compromise your morals, but at the end of the day, it's about your family and for yourself. And if you got to cut your hair to make a family and provide, I'm going to cut my hair today. Like, that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I value.
Well, I'm just throwing out there saying that you ain't gotta have to be at the top again. I just give you an example of one person.
Yeah.
I'm saying you see more people. You see people in business right now in law. You see managers of companies. So I'm like saying, how do we blind ourselves to what's right in our face? You know why we blind ourselves? Because of fear. We justify and rationalize when there are teachers, there are principals with locks throughout the entire country who are in the South, who are in the Midwest. So I'm like saying, okay, so how's somebody gonna say you can't teach if you got locks when somebody's a principal? When they are school board members, they got locks. They're school board members with locks in the South. So when somebody goes and says that, that's why I'm saying you gotta, again, this is about knowledge. That's why I'm saying, again, I'm just saying the average brother or sister, when you got knowledge, you can knock all that out. But the bank on you not know. And when you don't know, you fall victim to the still continuation of the hatred and all the madness and the insanity. Then what you do, you pass it on to your children. Then they go and say, well, my mom and my daddy told me not to do this. And then guess what? Somebody else can come along like me and say, well, guess what? Your mom and dad were brown when they were wearing locks and they told them not to wear locks. So now you're doing something else. So I'm just throwing it out there saying that we cannot internalize, and what Justin throwing out, we can't internalize the self-hatred. That's what damages us. And we pass it on. When we got the reality, I got a brother right now. He ain't no genius brother. And he tell you straight up, he said, I got lost, I make 6 figures. He makes 6 figures. Right now in the city of Savannah, he makes 6 figures. He do some hard work, but he makes 6 figures. And then he's taking it, and then he's taught his children, so now they got businesses also. So I'm just throwing out, so I just gave one range, and I always try to empower my people, so that way not to have the fear.
Yeah, definitely. You said what, bro?
The first thing you said was 5 stars. I was like, I'm gonna make something, so you say something else. So that's why I brought him into it. I really just want to hear him talk, and but I like everything you say. I'm trying to I don't want to think like, hey, I'm gonna
I'll be the devil after. I'll bring this out.
I feel you. So like for everybody on the podcast, he said like basically he said usually being the devil advocate, just give another form of yeah.
He's just being Jamal. That's why I'm like looking at him like I ain't no better than this. He's being like me. Like, get out my head.
If somebody wants to, which one?
Yeah, I agree with what he was saying, cause like yeah, it's qualifications and stuff, but I just seen like yesterday, like the Nike exec used to be killing folks in the street. He all Nike exec now. So I feel like if you got the qualifications and you got what they looking for, they gonna want to make that money. Like they gonna want to take that investment, in my opinion. Cause honestly, like with myself, like I just got an internship that I personally think I shouldn't have got. Like I was going against folks from Harvard, all of that, all these entitled folks. When I went in there, I was like the only person from like a regular like public institution. Everybody was like Cornell, Harvard, Penn State, and all of that. I go to Georgia Southern. Oh man. Yeah, I feel like if you like, you don't gotta change how you like who you are. I feel like if you got a qualification and you like got like mindset, like motivation that they're looking for, you shouldn't have to change the way you be. Like, I feel like what he was saying, like he was like, yeah, if I gotta cut my locks to feed my family, yada yada yada. Like, I understand what he's saying, but it shouldn't be that way. Like, you should be able to be yourself and do your job. At the end of the day, it's a job. Like, you there to work, make money. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with how you looking for real. Like, that's just all.
Definitely.
I feel like you shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have got it because you should have got it. That's why you got it.
Yeah, sometimes.
You deserve it.
Congratulations, though. Can I ask, like, what is the internship?
It's at RBI in Miami. It's a restaurant brand international. They own like with Popeyes, Tim Hortons, and Burger King. And it's like a business internship. I'm not even a business major. So I'm so serious, but everybody in there is like, I'm a double major. I go to Harvard and I got a double major in economics and marketing. I'm like, bro, I got food science. I enjoy stuff. Like, everybody doing the introduction. Mine was so short. I got it.
I like that though. Congratulations. Someone want to say something? I see the hand. But nah, I'm gonna just piggyback. Also, I do feel like if you do limit yourself to that, then it would never actually will be like an open, inclusive environment. If everybody with that, like if everybody with locks cut their hair just to get a job, then ain't nobody with locks ever gonna get a job because everybody with locks and cut their hair. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you really do conform to that, then you also closing off to the people after you, like the generations after you too. So yeah, that's also something that like we should all think about. Cause like it's not really just about you. Cause like you're gonna have kids, so on and so on. They gonna have kids. And it ain't just about your family though. It's about the people across the street, people you went to school with. So yeah.
But also not just locks, natural hair.
Yeah, all that.
Tattoos, piercings.
I don't even like get what's the stigma about tattoos. Like they only say that. I feel like it is some racial undertone for it with black people. Cause I feel like it's more acceptable for a white person to have tattoos than it is like for black people. Like he said before, like, when he was young, he seen somebody with dreads or tats or saying whatever, he thought they was dangerous. Like if you look at a white person with tats, you're not gonna really think that subconsciously. You're gonna think that they're a normal person.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that though, cause like I feel like whenever like white people get tats or like they might try to lock up their hair, you feel me? Like it's seen as trendy, it's seen as like hipster, it's seen as cool. But like whenever like black people do it, and that's just like with black women too, like with their hair, like with the extensions and all that. Whenever white women do it, it's like, oh, it's so stylish, it's so trendy. That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
It's just like the same thing that they do. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying about the Nike CEO, like can I ask what his race is?
He's black.
Ooh, then he fighting.
Yeah, he's a black dude.
Usually,
it's a black dude. Yeah.
Usually in that situation, it would be a white man. You get what I'm saying? Because when they do stuff, it's seen as he can learn from it. But when we do stuff, it's like he don't get a chance to learn from it. You get what I mean? They put us right in prison. Like, you see a lot of cases where, like, let's say Dylan Roof, the dude who shot up the church. He shot up the church, but they gave him Burger King, if I'm mistaken. How you should have shaken Burger King? My mom wouldn't even take me to Burger King when I was a kid. She said, this food at home. Like, come on. Like, they showing more mercy to a killer. If that was someone else, let's say George Floyd, for example, they was on his neck for 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Why? 9 minutes, what is he gonna do to you that's that bad to be on his neck for 9 minutes? But if he was white, no one would have been on his neck. He probably would have been free. And then what you were saying about victim blaming, it was like, oh, he had drugs in his system. We don't care. That don't got nothing to do with a knee on his neck. That's what we want to try. That's what we want him to go to jail for. Not whatever he was talking about. Like, even with like Tamir Rice, he got shot. Did he get out from there? I don't even remember. Like, it's been so many examples of black people getting killed for nothing, and people getting away, and then like white people doing stuff and getting away, and then black people doing something worse than that, or not even worse than that, better than that, like something that ain't even that bad, and getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a double standard all around. Like, with how you look, how you act, everything. Because if a white person act like this, everyone think they cool. But if we act like this, we thugs. we gangsters, like I was saying, like it's just like this whole double standard type thing going around, and it's all these undertones that we gotta see that no one else sees. I got white friends, I try to tell them what's going on, and they be like, they try to dismiss it. So I'll be having to press the issue, like, no, it's really happening. Like, Kuta High School, the kids flew a KKK flag just the other day.
You said where?
Kuta High School, it's in Rome, Georgia. They flew a Confederate flag, and they were saying racial slurs and didn't get in trouble. But then the black students tried to organize a protest, and y'all probably forget what happened. They got suspended before they even get to the school.
I heard about that.
They were stopping parents in traffic, telling them they gotta go get their kid, because they gotta go. But the white students who did the flag, that had the flag, something that's political that they don't like in school, supposedly, they got away with it. But when someone tried to do a rebuttal, the administrator talking about, we don't want no unrest. So when does it apply? That's what we gotta think about. When does it apply? And it's real obvious to us, but the other folks is not as clear because they don't have to go through what we go through.
I'm glad to say that. But now that's crazy though. I actually did see that article though, but I didn't know that happened in Rome, Georgia. Like, how far is that from here? Anybody know?
That's like at the top of Georgia.
Oh, never mind. But that's still crazy though, because I done heard of Rome, Georgia a lot. Like, I know a couple people from there, so like, and that's crazy that actually happened. I remember like the local high school in Gwinnett at Archer. I remember like this kid, he came out and then he was just like waving a Confederate flag. He was just waving a Confederate flag in the parking lot, and then he didn't get suspended or nothing. Like, when it wasn't even just that, like, they had like a old Snapchat, something like that. They were just saying a bunch of racist stuff, saying too many black people at Archer now, stuff like that. And as you can guess, like, ain't nothing happened to them. Like, they ain't suspended or nothing. But then, all I know, like, I know me personally, I know for like a bunch of other kids, they got suspended for a lot of other, like, basically small things. Like we used to get in trouble for so much small things, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's really crazy to think about it on that scale, cause like you said, like somebody can wave a flag and slap. It's not even slap on the wrist. It's just like, oh, we don't want arrest. But someone does something real elementary, something as a kid we do, they get suspended, they thrown out of school, so on and so on. So yeah, I just said that.
That happened in my school before too. Some dude was like wearing Confederate flag around school, but that happened at my school too. Some dude was wearing a Confederate flag, and he was just wearing it around school like a little cape or whatever. And I got him kicked out of school.
A cape?
It was a Confederate flag, but it was like he was wearing it around his like neck.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, but he was. They said that he got to go home. And he can't wear it.
Was your school a white school?
What high school you went to?
East Bowling.
East Boston? I ain't never heard of East Boston, but I always figured it was some white people who live there. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, I heard of Paulding County. Man. I put two and two together. I mean, just like Forsyth. You ever heard of Forsyth? Yeah, Forsyth like real big on all that. Like, I remember they was on Oprah with the KKK. KKK was marching through there. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that was like 1990.
I think it was 90.
It was real recent though. All that. Hold on. Hey, you said it again in the front?
That was actually wrong. I told you I said, when we played them at South Forsyth played South Forsyth for football. And I remember being on the sideline, and one of them racist flags, it wasn't like a Confederate flag, it was like, it meant something racist, like around that time. And it was like waving the flag in the stands, like passing it around the stand, and it was like, we could see it on the, like they put it on Jumbotron, they got me there. They put it on Jumbotron and shit, or and stuff. And, it was just, and so we always thought, was it racist?
No, it's definitely racist. All right, now we're gonna go to the discussion questions now. So, like, what is y'all personal idea of professionalism? Like, what first comes to mind when y'all think professional?
How you dress. Business.
Okay.
I think of mannerisms.
Mannerisms.
What I to professionalism. Just like the way you walk around, the way you talk to people, your attitude about certain things. It's just mannerisms in general.
So, like, when you said mannerisms, do you think, like, as a black man, you had to change your mannerisms to be able to fit in a professional setting? Or maybe you had to censor a little bit?
No, not necessarily. Because you can still have good mannerism even if you're using the AA vocabulary stuff. It's still cool. Like, it just depends on, yeah, you can still use it. It doesn't matter. It's like your tone when you use it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was asking to you, though, like, in a job, you ever felt like you had to kind of shit
Well,
down?
I'm from the country, so like, I be switching up all the time. I can switch up with white people, it don't matter.
Okay. Yeah, it's part of life. Double conscience. What you want to say right here?
I feel like whether you change it depending on where you are. Like the school I'm at right now, like I can use Ebonics and African American vernacular. In the classroom, I don't have to use proper English because of the kids. I can communicate better with the kids than every other teacher because I'm one of the only black ones. You know what I'm saying? So like at my school, it's actually kind of encouraged that I act how I naturally act because it helps the kids, it helps bring them in, it helps them focus in because they see someone that look like them and talk like them. So it's not like a white person speaking at them all day telling them what they shouldn't know when they ain't seeing no black people in the book, you know what I mean? Like, just that type of thing. And in my environment, it's actually been encouraged and it's come in handy that the way I act. But if I was somewhere else like Forsyth, because I knew they got a reputation, I wouldn't go there. But if I did, it's up in the air, you know what I'm saying? It'd be a bad decision by me, but I don't know what I would do in that situation because it's like, they doing stuff like that. I don't even know if I would teach there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like the sundown town or whatever.
Yeah, this ain't be Sundown County. Sundown County.
Yeah, where I'm from country, but it ain't that country.
You ever watch Lovecraft?
No, but I know what you're talking about. I thought that was like unheard of now.
Hold on, real quick. While we talking about like how you said style, how you dress, all that, I'm gonna look up professional person real quick. And I'm gonna just see what come up. Share screen. Entire screen. Professional. Oh.
The one black person.
You feel me?
They be in the back. I don't know what I'm on. Why is these black folks all in the back? Y'all don't see that too many. Literally in every picture we just seen them in look.
And look though, at the same time, every black person, they all got a certain look. They got the clean shaven,
Straight hair.
So I thought that says a lot. That is very crazy. Cause we just scrolled for a minute. Oh, we got one right here.
Like professional black people.
Professional black. Well, I see one person. This one last right here. Shout out that, I guess. Professional black people. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna come up. Oh, yeah. Still the same thing.
Look at it. Yeah.
I mean, we looked up black people.
So like then the dudes
So,
got like
Black and white.
You said what?
Look at him.
Yeah, like you said, you look up professional black people. It's a look. I mean, you see a little bit more. You might see a little more natural hair in regards to the women. You see, she got some braids right here, but it's still overall those are still that same look. That the straight hair, no beard, so on. So like it really is a look. It's a beard right there, but I get what I'm saying. Yeah, clean shave. Not too much long hair, no afros for real. Well, for the men, no afros, no braids, no lock style, nothing like that. Like, so, yeah. That's all I just want to think about. Oh, we got one right there. We had to go pretty low though. But yeah. Question. All right. Whoa. All right. So, what you say?
He said there were still highways that the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, that's a highway, yeah.
How do you see the comments?
There's still sections of highways adopted by the KKK. It's chilling even for white folks.
Wow. Oh, I can see it now. Oh.
That's from Rebecca Rose, one of our viewers.
Right. That's funny, because right before you get into my time, there's actually a sign that says, join the Confederate, the Sons of the Confederate.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
For real?
Yeah, the Sons of the Confederacy, that's what it's called. It's like, I don't know. But when you get into the city, it say join the Sons of the Confederacy. It's an organization that celebrates the Confederacy.
I don't know why he's trying to trip on Lawrence County. Why he's trying to trip on you keep trying to trip on Lawrence County. We can't be doing this with it like that. We represent
Gotta represent the first son made. Yeah, my best foot, that's it.
Oh. Both y'all from the same town? Same county?
I got time for Middle Georgia. Georgia. He trying to put down Lawrence County. Trying to talk about Lawrence County. We can't be letting that happen.
Now, Lawrence County.
He got to see what try himself. He got to see
one fact that y'all even know though, MLK first speech happened in my city. So, right down the road from where I grew up.
So you know Coach Chris.
Coach Chris.
Probably. The bike.
Yeah.
Okay. Small world. All right. So, in regards to the respectability politics, so like, what are your ideas on that? Like, have y'all ever been faced with that? Like, personally, like I know we did speak about it earlier. How we said like our parents talk about how we got to look a certain way to get in a job and all that. So, what are some ways y'all been faced with respectability politics?
I'm supposed to go to a job interview tomorrow, and I asked if they're gonna hire me with lock because I'm not taking them off.
You asked them that?
I asked the person who put me on. I was like, yeah, they don't care. We'll see. That's all.
What kind of job is it, man?
That's a lot of questions. Just
Say that.
Yeah, I was gonna answer that too.
I mean, I feel like it kind of goes with it, but, you know, we move. Yeah. Hope you get it. Nah. But I know, like I said, I remember when I first did Twisties Up, though, for real. I remember my pops, he was like, you didn't come in looking like that. I was like, what does that mean? He was like, you didn't come in looking like that, so they ain't finna, so like when they see you tomorrow, they gonna send you home. And then he said, you know, that was me, I sent you home. I was like, first, I was like, bro, this man really making these cold comments. Like, that's all it is. Nah, it's real though. Like, it's real self-hate. Like, that's real self-hate. Like, you really hating on your skin. You're hating, like, that's your own son. You saying that?
Like, I feel like I don't think he was just hate. I feel like he probably was trying to like, cause you know you his son and stuff.
Yeah.
Like pay for it, they gonna already tell you anyway. Like,
yeah.
It's an old school like mindset.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you though. Like, nah.
When I did blowing, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it probably was from a place of love.
Yeah.
Or care, something like that. But that's not something you say though. At the same time, like just put the idea in my head. And then it was Lowe's, like, bro, it's a regular 9 to 5. Like, it's a bunch of people in there with tattoos. Yes. Like, everybody come in, bro. That's what I'm saying. I was like, bro, you talking about Lowe's, bro? Like, that's what blew me. I was like, all right, bro. But I'm like, it's Lowe's, bro. I'll get another job, bro. After that. But nah.
my dad did the same thing with my brother, but my parents are African, so maybe they're just like a little bit more stern with that. I gave him some cornrows, and he was like, "Oh, nah, you like a thug." But I just feel like that goes into the stereotypes of like people
Oh yeah, when I first cut my hair, and I used to wear the durag all the time, they'll be like, what?
That's what I'm saying.
But it all goes back to what Mr. Jamal was saying about like internalized racism, like it gets passed on. If their parents told them the same thing, and they followed it, they conformed it, so they passed it to us. But like Nate was saying, like it's not on us to not listen, in a sense, and keep being who we are, so that the next generation don't have that damage internally, that internalized white supremacy. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Which one, sir?
Also, we can get into positions where we're the people that's hiring people, so it don't matter what they got. So that's how you can really stop it.
I like that. Other hands over somewhere?
Yeah, I was gonna say something. Just piggyback on earlier, like after I had got like my internship, like my mom was asking me like all types of like pointless questions, like how was your hair during the interview? What you had on? I'm like, bro, I already got the internship. Like, I got the internship. Like, why does that matter? Like, I didn't understand it. Like, I was like, why are you pressing me on that? I didn't like. I already got it. Like, obviously, whatever I had on, however my hair was, it was like.
Sure.
I don't understand. Like,
I ain't gonna count. I feel like we just the older generation. We ain't gonna none of that shit they be talking about.
Oh God, bro.
We ain't really living the name for our old generation. We
I was thinking how you can though.
talk about how we gonna do our shit. We own our shit by ourselves.
yeah,
We don't settle. We don't just settle.
we
The traditional stuff.
You're doing a lot.
They had to do shit just to do it. We don't do that shit.
yeah, we don't gotta do it. Like,
why I gotta cut my hair like that? Like they didn't used to ask why. Like I feel like we want to know why everything. Like why I gotta do this? Why I gotta do this? Like why I can't get tattooed?
every time I ask them why, they can't give me no real reason.
Yeah, that's just what they know. That's all they know.
But now, to piggyback of what Ty said, how we said, when how he brought up how it came from like white supremacy. I'm glad you said that, cause like like in like colonial times, in like the 1800s, stuff like that, and like in a bunch of different places where black people was, where we was colonized. Like, I know in Jamaica, I know in New Orleans they had, but like they basically had laws regarding our hair. Like I know with black women they couldn't wear their hair like with kinks or with coils, and like they also had to put like it was something that put on the hair basically to show that they were a slave. But yeah, so I do feel like all these different laws do manifest. Not, I don't know if it's a word to use, but it kind of do roll over into like the whole professional and how the whole professional thing came from. Cause like all the professionalism, the rules came from like white men. So we weren't in line with none of these rules. So yeah, like I said, it was illegal. It was illegal to have like afros. So yeah.
I like what you just said, because it's kind of what we was talking about in my class today, actually. We was talking about how if you don't, because we read MLK a letter from the Birmingham jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like before I was talking, I said how he's probably the greatest writer, because all his speeches are beautifully crafted, use rhetoric perfectly. But that's beside the subject. Like we was talking about why it's important to read those types of things, those types of documents, because if you don't know history, it's bound to repeat itself. And like if you're ignorant to it, you won't recognize that it's still happening today. So we made the connection of the civil rights movement and what we're going through now with BLM. And at first the kids couldn't see it because they didn't even, you get what I'm saying? But I had to question them and like get them to open up, and after that it was cool. But like if you don't know history, like you can't, it's gonna repeat itself because you can't stop it. You don't know it's coming. You don't know that that's already happened. Like the laws about the hair in Texas schools, that was still a thing, because in Texas they censor history every year. They taking something out of the book. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I done seen it. Like I done seen it because I'm in the field, so like, I done seen it happen every year. They taking some out. They just passed a law this year that called slaves indentured servants, or called slaves travelers or workers. They call them workers. Like they weren't forced to come here. Like they chose to come here. You know what I mean? That's Texas. That's what they do. And the kids, they don't realize like the laws about their hair. It's really just, it's been there since the beginning of time, since we came. You know what I mean? So we just repeat it. So history do. And by knowing history, you can realize when it's happening and go ahead and stop it. But if you don't know history, you're gonna keep it going. And that's why we at this point now, because they don't teach us history. That's my thought.
Yeah, definitely. You know. Okay. Well, no, I'm glad you said that though.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You said it was it.
Yo, to run tell that family, it's been a takeover by the Black Book Club here at Georgia Southern University. We say support these brothers and sisters. You heard some of the words they were saying, some of the reels and some of the things we talk about. We'll be next week in the lab. This time we're going to be with Coach Carter. Again, we're hitting you with regards to health and social consciousness. But again, the Black Book Club at Georgia Southern University. Yo, these are our leaders, not of tomorrow, leaders of today. And so we're signing out for Ron Tell that. Because again, the Little Brother Show on the ATR Network. Everybody else got 2 hours. We just got 57 minutes. I'm just saying. I ain't saying nothing, Mr. Producer. We signing out. Black Book Club still going to do what they got to do because that's how they roll.
See?
Bid me out.
What do you mean?